Yehovah Svaot Elohim, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me, and cover me and stir me, and speak through me with your Ruach Kodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts in mind, with your entire body, with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, now, behold. Isaiah Yeshayahu, chapter 37. On hearing it, King Hezekiah tore his clothes, covered himself with sackcloth, and entered the house of Yehovah. He sent Eliakim, who was in charge of the household, Shevna, the general secretary, and the leading Kohanim, covered with sackcloth, to Yeshayahu the prophet, the son of Amoz. They said to him, "This is what Hezekiah says. Today is a day of trouble, rebuke, and disgrace. Children are ready to be born, but there is no strength to bring them to birth. Maybe Yehovah your God will hear the words of Rav Shechah, whom his master the king of Ashur has sent to taunt the living God, and will rebuke the message which Yehovah your God has heard. So pray for the remnant that is left." When King Hezekiah's servants came to Yeshayahu, he said to them, "Tell your master that this is what Yehovah says. Don't be afraid of the words you heard the servant of King of Ashur used to insult me. I will put a spirit in him that will make him hear a rumor and return to his own land. Then I will cause him to die by the sword in his own land." Rav Shechah returned, and having heard that the king of Ashur had left Lachish, found him making war with Livnah. Then he heard it said that Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, was on his way to fight him. On hearing this, the king of Ashur sent messengers to Hezekiah after ordering them, "This is what you are to say to Hezekiah, king of Yehudah. Don't let your God in whom you trust deceive you by saying, 'Jerusalem will not be handed over to the power of the king of Ashur.' You have heard what the king of Ashur has done to all lands. They have completely destroyed them. So how will you be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them? No, my ancestors destroyed them. Gozan, Haran, Retziph, and the people of Eden who were in Telasar. Where is the king of Hamath, the king of Arpad, the king of the city of Sepharvaim, of Hena and Eva?" Hezekiah took the letter from the messenger's hands and read it. Then Hezekiah went up to the house of Yehovah and spread it out before Yehovah. This is the prayer that Hezekiah prayed to Yehovah. "Yehovah Svaot, God of Israel, who dwells above the Cheruvim, you alone are God of all the kingdoms on earth. You made heaven and earth. Turn your ear, Yehovah, and hear. Open your eyes, Yehovah, and see. Hear all the words that Sennacherib sent to taunt the living God. It is true that the kings of Ashur have laid waste all the countries of their lands and have thrown their gods into the fire. For those were non-gods, merely the products of people's hands, wood and stone. This is why they could destroy them. Now, therefore, Yehovah our God, save us from his power, so that all the kingdoms on earth will know that you are Yehovah, you only." Then Yeshayahu, the son of Amoz, sent this message to Hezekiah. "Yehovah, the God of Israel, says, you prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Ashur. Here is what Yehovah's answer concerning him. The virgin daughter of Zion despises you. She laughs you to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem shakes her head at you, whom you have taunted and insulted, against whom you have raised your voice and haughtily lifted your eyes, the Holy One of Israel. Through your servants you taunted Jehovah. You said, with my many chariots I have ascended the mountain heights, even in the far reaches of the Lebanon. I cut down its tall cedars and its best cypress trees. I reached its remotest heights and its best forests. I dug wells and drank the water. The soles of my soldiers' feet dried up the rivers, all the rivers of Egypt. Haven't you heard? Long ago I made it. In antiquity I produced it. And now I'm making it happen. You are turning fortified cities into heaps of ruins, while their inhabitants, shorn of power, are disheartened and ashamed, weak as grass, frail as plants, like grass on the rooftops, or grain scorched by the east wind. But I know where you sit, when you leave, when you enter, and when you rage against me. And because of your rage against me, because of your pride that has reached my ears, I am putting my hook in your nose and my bridle on your lips, and I will make you return by the way of which you came. This will be a sign for you, people of Israel. This year you will eat the grain that grows of itself. The second year you will eat what grows from that. But on the third year you will sow, reap, plant vineyards, and eat their fruit. Meanwhile, the remnant of the house of Yehuda that has escaped will again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For a remnant will go out from Jerusalem. Those escaping will go out from Mount Zion. The zeal of Yehovah Svaot will accomplish this. Therefore, this is what Yehovah says concerning the king of Ashur. He will not come to this city or even shoot an arrow there. He will not confront it with a shield or erect earthworks against it. By the way he came, he will return. He will not come to the city, says Yehovah, for I will defend this city and save it, both for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of Yehovah went out and struck down 185,000 men in the camp of Ashur. Early the next morning, there they were, all of them, corpses, dead. So Sancheriv, king of Ashur, left, went and returned to live in Nineveh. On one day, as he was worshiping in the temple of Nisroch, his god, his sons Adrammelech and Shechzir struck him with the sword and escaped in the land of Ararat. So his son Esarhaddon took his place as king. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this interesting 37th chapter of Isaiah, Yeshayahu? Aim to enter the house of Yehovah the way King Hezekiah did. Humble yourself before Yehovah. Trust Yehovah will hear your prayers. Aim to listen to words that live up with the written words that line up with the written words of Yehovah. Aim to lay down your problems before the throne of Yehovah. Pray to Yehovah Svaot, the Elohim of Israel. Trust that Yehovah dwells above the cherubim, that Yehovah is Elohim of all the kingdoms of the earth, who made heaven and earth, who will turn his ears to hear and open his eyes to see all the words you bring to him. Trust Yehovah alone to save you. Point the kingdoms of the earth to know that Yehovah is Elohim. Humble yourself before Yehovah, the Holy One of Israel. Return to Yehovah with all of your heart. Aim to produce spiritual fruit pleasing to Yehovah. Trust the zeal of Yehovah Svaot will accomplish his will. Trust that Yehovah is our defender. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? Encourage others to humble themselves and pray to Yehovah. Bear one another's burdens, humble yourself, and pray for one another. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts. and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.